Alright guys, welcome to RC Mojo. This week, or rather last week, we were at Wings and Wheels over at North Weald in Essex. It's been a while since we've been to an outdoor show for obvious reasons. Now this video will be me talking over selected clips from the show. Then I'll upload a couple more videos with just the planes, trucks and a full-length Mardave / Camtech 3-wheeler race. Right, so Wings and Wheels 2021. First of all, it's moved since last year, only to the other end of the airfield, but it's still a bit of a change. Once inside we have the boat area. There was the usual large pool for running boats. The large tent with the static exhibits wasn't anywhere to be seen this time though, but that's fair enough. A number of clubs did have their own stands, so there was still plenty to see. The camping area was enormous. Lots of people stayed the weekend from Friday afternoon to Sunday evening. Lots of tents, caravans and motorhomes. I could certainly be tempted next year. Back inside we have the famous Wings and Wheels bring and buy. Lots of models for sale in the main area with the usual slightly cheeky pricing, along with lots of engines and other bits in the tent. Along the main strip we have quite a few traders. Not as many as a few years ago I think, and certainly not as many as 10 years ago, but given the circumstances it was a good turnout. Most of the traders are model aircraft related, but that's how Wings and Wheels has always been. There was a couple of stands with an array of cars and trucks though, and someone selling 3D printers and another one selling the usual cheap tools. There were hot food stands in a few places. It all looked rather good, but I did take my own food this time, just in case. Later in the day, the queue for the ice cream van was a bit crazy. I think they're going to need a few more vans next time. Now we have some more traders, followed by the tiny whoop drone racing. The viewing area was a bit on the small side. Anytime the drones were flying, it was slightly worryingly packed. There were also some outdoor drones that I didn't notice until it was time to leave. I think they could do with some better signage. Going back along behind the traders, we come to the Tamiya trekking stand, where at any show I seem to spend most of my time. One of these shows I'll get my act together and see about joining them. Maybe that will go together with the camping too. In the walk around I missed a couple of stands, mainly the banger racing, so I'll pop a clip of that in now. These are the 3-wheelers, which I don't think were around when I was into Mardave. I can imagine the front end being a bit more resilient to bumps at the cost of some impressive understeer. They do look like fun though. Back at Tamiya Trucking, and we had the usual suspects, plus some I've not seen before. I think a couple of them were the slightly smaller Wedeco trucks, which you don't see too often. Plus a few custom builds, I think probably on Tamiya chassis rails. As much as I do like the Tamiyas, it's always nice to see some variety from Lisu, RC 4-wheel drive etc. Back outside and we have the planes. This particular one being flown by, I do believe, a 15-year-old who's probably had too much coffee. I'd love to see what he's doing with the sticks during these high roll rate loops. The rudder and elevator must be pretty much a blur. Very impressive. There was also the Panic Bike team, always a lot of fun. I seem to remember they used to tow balloons and do a bit of combat, but I'm guessing that's not the done thing anymore with the new rules that they have to follow. There used to be the Ritmax display team too that used to fly deltas in tight formation, where at least a few would always end up biting the dust. There was a nice selection of scale planes too, mainly warbirds of course, World War I and World War II. At one point the police helicopter had to take off during the show, which was interesting. I bet the pilot really enjoys these types of takeoff, using the forward speed to help gain height. You really don't want one of these guys to follow you around. You really wouldn't have a hope of losing them. Not really my thing this, but there were also a couple of fast jets doing circuits and loops. Impressive speed and technology for sure, but short of the vectored thrust models, they don't have much going for them except for all-out speed. Now for some boats. And they had the usual pool to float around in, and throughout the day there were various types. The more scale boats having the best time of course. Anything fast found the size of the pool too small to get up any sort of speed. Still, for the tugs and warships it works a treat, and it's so much better to see them running than just sit there on static display. I always have this slight feeling that with some of the models you see, they're never going to see water just in case they get wet. And other than the full-size cars on show, that was about it. If you really spent the time taking it all in, there was more than enough to fill out a day. I really hope Wings and Wheels, along with the other shows, can start expanding again in the next few years. I'm seeing more interest in certain areas of the hobby again after a bit of a lull. It would be great to see the sizes of show we used to get a long time ago, where you'd need at least 2 days to get around everything. Anyway, that's it for this video. By the time this one's live, the extended cuts of the trucks and planes should be live too, so go and check them out, links in the description. For now though, that's it. So as always, thanks for watching, like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment if there's something on your mind. Bye guys!